YouTube? It's your girl, Dalorona. I'm back with another video. You already know. But yeah, I wanted to get into some things. Once again, I want to do another yap session because I have been on YouTube. Because I am so done with the things that have been happening with this world. You have no idea. You have no idea. Okay. Yeah, so basically, I am fed up with this world, and since last year, I have literally been losing my faith of humanity. I'm very done. Because I have no words for what I'm gonna talk about, really. As you can see from the title of this video, I'm gonna be talking about social media and why I'm actually super pissed off that suddenly, deleting social media is cool. After everything that I have went through these last couple years, I'm going to tell you why I'm really pissed off at the shit that is fucking happening with the world, and also just my experience from years ago when I deleted social media, back when it wasn't cool, by the way. Okay? Yeah, you can you can see how pissed off I am. So let's get into it, okay? I'm gonna take off my glasses for this because I do not want to look at myself being really pissed off about this topic. But we're fired up. We're riled. I'm riled up. Okay, look at all those scattered books I have. Been trying to do my fucking research. But yes, I'm going to talk about social media. All right. So, where do I start with this? So, since the last couple weeks, there's been tons of videos coming out. I'll probably show it over here, of just people being like, hey guys, let's get away from social media. Let's delete social media, guys, once and for all, like as if it's a fucking revolution, the Boston Tea Party. Oh, let's dump all the tea away, except the tea is fucking getting rid of social media, right?
That I want to make history.
And here's my thing. I'm all for it. I'm literally all for it, right? As an advocate to being anti-social media from years ago, right? But here's the thing. I am actually upset, and I'm going to explain why, especially if you personally are thinking about getting off social media. This is actually how society will react to you. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, this was actually something that I was dealing with. And yeah, so that was, seeing these videos, I just couldn't stop thinking about that. So when I was like around 18, 19, like it was the summer, before I was about to go to college, keep in mind, when I was in high school, I had a very, very big addiction to social media. My hair's messy. Do you see this right now? My hair's messy. Here's the thing, is like, I had a very big phone addiction, and I would love to talk about how all of that was happening. Maybe I can show a study like here. So when you're on social media, you have the same level of this trance, right? That's what everyone talks about. Oh, like the doom scrolling, right? It's like a trance almost. And it leaves users with the same effects as a heroin drug user, right? As devastating as that is, I feel like a lot of people just went, you know, kind of just completely missed that point, right? But when I started to see that, right, in high school, the reason why I'm bringing up high school is because when I had my big phone addiction, the way I had my classes back then, right, and I'm very grateful I decided to go to college and I learned about myself the way I did, because high school for me was very like, yeah, I had theater, right? Like, oh, I did like what I was doing, and like that's basically the biggest memory of my high school years, because when I was in school, literally we would get these packets, we would fill them out, and literally we would, you know what I mean, like it was just, okay, go on your phone now. And that was like how high school pretty much was for me, right? Like half of the time. And like the other classes were a little bit better. And like English classes, I remember, were like the biggest challenge for me, right? Because I actually, not a challenge like it was hard, but more like I was actually being in these classes and like learning something. Compared to like history, it was like, oh, do you remember the Prohibition era? And I'm like, yes. What year? Fucking 1928. Anyways. So yes, I had a very severe phone addiction, and I do believe that it changed a lot of like how I was able to communicate with people. I know that for a fact. I think it really did something to me socially. Especially when I was younger, like I just felt so awkward. Oh my God, the way that I didn't understand social cues was so bad. So bad. Like literally, I remember I would have somebody be like, hey, so, like, for example, like I remember meeting up with this girl, and I'll never forget that moment. Like that was such a reflection of like how terrible I was when it came to social cues. And I remember like I was meeting up with her. She was literally like, okay, here you go. And I didn't hear her say, here you go. She just handed this out like this, right? And I was awkward as fuck. I just remember I was like, she's talking to me, she's rambling about like whatever the fuck was going on while still holding this. And I remember looking at her like, yeah, not seeing that she's holding this. I just remember she was like, yeah, da-da-da, rambling, like trying to tell me, take the fucking thing that I'm trying to give you. So, yeah, I know it's a weird thing, and I am getting to my point, but basically, I remember my phone addiction. I wasn't the same socially, and I'm kind of, fast forward to after, I graduated high school. It was the pandemic. This was around the time when we were in quarantine. Now, keep in mind, I was happy with it at first because I felt like I had this break from people, and like, I finally had this time to be like really focused and do the things I wanted to do, which back then for me was writing and being able to watch like all kinds of movies. And I think that was a very good time. It was a very good time to do it, right? And I was on social media though when I wasn't watching movies, and I hated it because I was on social media so much that when I was watching movies, it felt so productive, right? Like, I feel like it's starting in this day and age, it started to become this cliche, right? Everyone's like, oh yeah, I watch movies now, and it's like kind of hard to do without going on my phone. And it's like totally like really sad to think about, right? Especially now that like the literacy crisis is like becoming a thing, like everyone's talking about it. I've talked about it in my videos. But this time it's like, I'm like getting upset because I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Why are we ignoring this? Why are we just like, letting it become a thing for us to look at? And then now it's like, we're just ignoring it, right? Whatever. So anyways, college for me, I had something really bad happen to me, very traumatic. And I remember I just had some people just talk to me. They're like, have you ever thought about deleting social media? Right? Keep in mind, this was somebody who's not Gen Z. They were a fucking, like, millennial, like, Gen X, I would say, like, that, I mean? I'm not calling them old, but... NANI? But it's just sort of like, there's the Gen Z mentality, right? You would never think to delete social media. You would just be like, and I'll explain this for later on, but you know what I mean? There is a Gen Z mentality, and fuck that Gen Z mentality, okay? Because I appreciated what that person told me, and multiple people after that. They're just delete social media. If you don't like, if it's literally making you get so much anxiety just to post, and you're scared of what people are reacting and like thinking of you, that's really what this is. You're scared of what people are thinking of you by being on social media, by presenting yourself. And I was like, oh shit, you're right. You're right. I need to fucking think. I need to lock in. I need to delete social media. So I did. This was 2020 going into like, I think it was 2021, like, officially, I just, because I had so many fucking relapses, I might as well have been a heroin fucking addict. Would like to take notes. Between 2020 to 2021 of just trying to delete it, trying to get off, and then I literally felt it in my bones. I could not do it. I was a fucking pussy. I wasn't sweating. I wasn't in my room, like having these like hot flashes, right? Like that physical altered reaction to like when you're trying to become sober again, right? But I was having that with social media. I was literally freaking the fuck out, struggling to get off the fucking phone. This is, I know I'm like, I'm like angry and I sound dramatic saying this, but it's really not. And like the fact that like people are really talking about this is like really a big thing. And again, I know it was affecting me socially. I know it was. So yeah, finally, I believe it was after October-ish, I would say, after October. So it was like 2021 going into 2022. Finally deleted social media. And I was finally off. And I'm not gonna lie, guys. You see this fucking posture I have? Okay, you see that shit? It improved back then. It actually did. It actually 100% fucking did. So many things. I felt myself, getting better. However, because I like was away, like I didn't have friends, for a very long time I had this level of like isolation that was happening, like I just wasn't social, right? I was not communicative and I had, oh my god, you may say I'm a dreamer. I had social anxiety like a motherfucker.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Especially when I was in community college, I was so nervous to talk. I remember, as I mentioned, like the club I did, I was social enough, right? But when it came to like trying to do a discussion based off of what I was reading, which I was fucking reading, it's just sort of like, I was never told to really talk. I was never really told to elaborate on stuff. I just wasn't picked.
So pick me. Choose me. Love me.
Anyways, so yeah. And being on social media, and I just spent like, it was in between 2021 and then I got it back around 2024. So very long time. And I would have kept going okay. So I didn't have social media. And I'm not gonna lie, I had people at my first school, I was kind of telling them what's going on. I was like, hey, listen, I delete social media. I can't re-download it back. I just need to be off of it because I knew that phone addiction I had, it wasn't talked about back then, but I knew I had it. And within like the Gen Z, like, there's that Gen Z mentality. I didn't know how else to make friends, right? Because obviously there's Instagram. Everyone has Instagram and all this stuff, and Snapchat, you name it, right? So my thing was like, the only way I can be social and like still make friends is obviously by asking for their numbers. So I definitely had a bad reaction from that, of people being like, oh, you are flirting with me, aren't you? Oh, you just want a date. Just ask me out on a date. I just told you I don't have social media. Are you fucking stupid?
Like, I'm cunty.
So yes, I know I keep joking in the video that, yeah, I'm riled up, like, this is what you guys are prepared for. But let's be for real. I want you guys to understand that, yes, I know I keep saying that I don't have social media, and I know it's a big difference to people when you say that versus when you just say I delete social media, right? But like I said, a lot of people were telling me that I had to re-download the app in order to follow them, and then they can delete it. That this fake solution, when really that was harmful for me. You know, this is about morals and the things that I felt like I was doing to like protect myself, but over time, like obviously, like I still got back on social media. I mean, to me, by the way, like YouTube doesn't count as social media. As you saw in the thumbnail, I'm talking about everything else. Yeah, I mean, but again, I just feel like I need to clarify stuff because I feel like I'm more riled up than you know what I mean, than really explaining the situation. But oh, you see that? I'm breaking out at times. But like, yeah, I hope that made sense. Again, this is about principles, this is about respect. If I'm saying to you, hey, I don't have this, but you can have this instead, right? And it's just like I'm explaining it as a way of like, this is my comfort zone, like, you know, this is why, and this person is still not understanding. You know what I mean? That's a level of closed-mindedness that I personally am just really tired of, and I think that's why I was getting like upset in this video, because this was also very recent, by the way. This is a very recent event, and this also happened to me during like my very first semester. So it was kind of like the moment I stepped into this school, like I already was dealing with trauma. So yeah, that's why I'm very upset in here. I feel like I needed to clarify that. So yeah, I promise I do get riled up like this. I'm not even gonna say I'm sorry. I can't say I'm sorry. You're gonna see me get mad over something again. This is literally how I talk when I'm ranting about something. Well, yeah, anyways. I'm sorry, like, not to say stupid, right? But like, if I'm telling you I don't have social media, I just want to be friends, because what the am I going to ask you for? A fucking calculator? Like, come on. Like, what? Like, come on. I'm going to ask for your number if we're trying to, you know, be friends. Like, what else am I going to ask you for? And that's still a social media platform. Bitch, like, I'm not gonna give you a fucking, you know what I mean? It was bullshit. I'm sorry. That really used to piss me off back then. You know, because this was Gen Z's way of like, oh, actually, one of the person in particular is not even Gen Z, they're a fucking millennial, let me just say. But like, that was the thing with Gen Z. Social media was warping people's minds, because the moment they had somebody like me ask them for their numbers, right? If somebody is fucking nice, if somebody is trying to be friendly, they take that as flirting. And that was something that also, like, really fucking, like, it was hard. But I knew in my head, right? Like, fuck these people. I remember there was, like, a couple times when I was literally like, oh, you think I'm flirting with you? You know what? Get the fuck out of my way, right? I told you guys I was going to be riled up for this. Did I not say that? I promise. Like, listen, like I said, this was the Gen Z mentality. Like, some people really did have their own way of, like, trying to understand, oh, this person doesn't have social media, right? And when I transferred and I went to another school, and I really met people that truly never met somebody like me who had the balls, who had, whoa, the common sense to actually delete social media if it was bothering me. And so it got worse. Unfortunately, yes, the story gets worse after this. I had, maybe I shouldn't say that. So the reactions that I got when I was asking people for their numbers and telling them the story, like, oh, I don't have social media, like, you know, like, but if you still want to be friends, like, you can have my number. Yeah, it got worse. Like I said, it got worse. It fucking flopped like a motherfucker based off of, like, how people were perceiving me after this. I was extremely misunderstood, and I do blame that this was the reason why. Now, like I said, I was trying to get away from a phone addiction. I was trying to get away from my phone addiction. I remember I had a very specific screen time. I always said to myself, at most, I want 2 hours. 2 hours of time on my phone, just so I can call people, just so I can maybe text, like, hey, let's meet here, let's meet there. Never having I didn't want online friends really, right? And I just and it was especially happening because I remember like every time I would get like paragraphs of text, right? This was something with my brain. I remember like the distinction between a physical, like, if I was reading a book and I'm reading a paragraph, right? That's one thing. But when I was reading like a paragraph of a text, it was immediately overwhelming. There was such a, like, literally your eyes, or like my eyes, shifting between physical text on paper versus a physical text on a fucking screen is different. Especially because, guys, we are becoming dumber, and it's not just the phones, it's screens, it's everything that we have in this day and age, okay? When I went to the fucking Times Square, that LED shit of like seeing the billboards hurt my head. Because that gives out so much radiation, guys. Seriously, this is something to research. This is something to research, okay? Look up videos. I don't even know if those videos are still around, but when I was younger, I will never forget it. And like, this is something that is so important for Gen Z to like know about, and Gen Alpha. Like, this is so important. This is something that no one is talking about. It's not to call everyone stupid, but it's like, no one is talking about this, okay? The government. I blame the government. Now that the Epstein files are out, I do blame the government that they try and hide this shit. And my mom, they used to show, hey, this is like what the phone will do to you, right? I was young. And it was a man. He had some kind of tool, some kind of device to show the radiation that is on our TVs, that is on our iPads, that is on our phones, and our computers, and our monitors, our desktop, and all this stuff, right? And let me tell you, man, that shit had a fucking noise to show how much radiation it was having. The guy is clearly shown, like, basically using this, like, radiation device. He's trying to detect the amount of radiation. So, obviously, a lot of, like, people, like, usually that thing is meant for outside. But this time, he put it for indoors, okay, in the video. And he put it against, like, it's like a handle you hold, and it's like this fucking wand thing. Okay, I'm telling you why I'm fucking holding my hands up like this, okay? I'm not trying to fucking beatbox or whatever. I mean kickbox.
What the hell?
Whatever, I don't know. Anyways, this is like the first time, like, these words are coming out of my mouth officially. As the guy is explaining it, right? That radiation device was going the fuck off. It was fucking practically singing. And let me tell you something, it was singing a lot better than fucking Beyonce, okay?
Hi, fatty.
That was a terrible joke. I'm just kidding. I love Beyonce. I love Beyonce. Guys, oh my god, I'm like so nervous. I'm like freaking the fuck out. I feel like the government is going to kill me if I keep talking more about this. Okay. So, oh my god, Jeffrey Epstein is going to come back and get me. I know that man faked his death. He's going to get me. Like, that's the thing. It's just so, like, it's bizarre that, I had these people in my life that were suddenly, like, really judgmental over me not having social media. They were literally, like, I had people that I didn't even know. They just heard about me. And I'm like, oh, like, you seem cool. Like, I remember being like, I'll re-download Instagram if you want me to. Because a lot of people were kind of judging me, like, oh, you don't have social media? Why can't you just download the app again and follow me, then delete it again? And I started doing that. But it really did, like, over time, like, it really messed up this, like, the goal I had of, like, never never re-downloading social media again, right? And I had so many different things. I remember somebody called me a criminal because I didn't have social media. But obviously I had my account. It's just sort of like, you know, it was showing up on people's contacts because people had their contacts synced. So even if I didn't have social media deleted and I'm explaining to them like, oh, I don't have social media, they thought I was lying. But it's like, but in my head it was sort of like, but I feel like I don't have social media because I deleted it. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm a liar. It's just like I don't ever want to fucking download it again. And like it's like so like it makes me angry. It makes me so angry that I was having this dilemma. And you know, and I kind of was like, I really did appreciate the people from my first school. You know, they were so respectful about it. I even met them like years later. Yeah, so anyways, and I had men, I had women, I had non-binaries, I had all kinds of people that were very judgmental and very petty, that I was limiting my contact with texting. I, you know, refused to re-download the app, right? And because I was in a small school, like that was a reputation that stuck. like fucking like, you know, slapping a sticky noodle against a fucking wall type of sticking. You know what I mean? Like that was like literally the fucking era for me where I was considered misunderstood. I pissed off a lot of people, and you know what? To the particulars that, you know, were reacting and they were making up a bunch of shit about me because I didn't have social media, call me a fucking criminal. That I didn't have social media and that, oh, she's probably hiding something. Oh my god, she has to be a criminal. She's literally hiding her real identity by not having Instagram. You should have Instagram. You should have social media. Fuck you.
It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business.
You are a hateful person because, like I said, I'm telling these people, I'm explaining to these people that I have a phone addiction, and they're looking at me like I'm fucking insane. Because these people are, again, this Gen Z mentality. Well, get used to it, honey. Oh, we all have our phones. It doesn't fucking have to be. And as of right now, as of this year, my points proves that. Thank you very much, okay? So that's the thing. That's the thing. And you know what? As you can see, I'm getting a little bit upset because I am. I keep emphasizing that. But it was such a terrible experience. The fucking reaction that I was getting out of it. So yes, it sucked being called a criminal for that shit. And it is, you know, it is a laughing matter now, but it is a little bit crazy knowing that now suddenly social media wants to make it cool. Social media makes it so fun. You know what I mean? Do you see my face? Do you see my face? I'm like actually getting red. I'm genuinely getting red in my face. Obviously, I forgive these people. Right? Listen, I forgive these people. It's just, I'm also drinking coffee at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon because social media makes me fucking tired. And the day that I downloaded it back was my biggest fucking regret. Because when I deleted social media the first time, Reels was not a thing. Okay? The day I got social media back, I swear to you, I wanted to fucking die. Knowing that Instagram had Reels, and I had fucking TikTok back then as well, I was like, this is insane. This is insane. Okay? I am going to lose my shit. And guess what? I fucking did. These last couple months of having social media back again, oh my god. I swear to you, I stopped being a morning person. Now, again, I don't know if this is really what happened. I started having my headaches. Now, keep in mind, when I was younger, I had headaches. But now it fucking came back. When I was at school, I used to wake up in the morning. Now, waking up in the morning started to become so difficult for me. Like, wake up at 8:30. That was my time, 8:30. Every morning, 8 a.m. And I felt so good. I felt so great. And it was around the time that I deleted social media. I felt incredible. I felt, and I had a routine, I had a schedule. But ever since I got social media back, I've been a mess, especially at my university. And I had people, when I'm telling them this story, they get surprised that I had managed to get my bachelor's, because I was, like I said, I talked about it. I was going to sleep at 4 a.m. and I'm sleeping through the mornings. That's not normal. That's not normal. And especially with me and like my medical conditions, it's like I know medically I need to be off social media. And it got to a point where I'm waking up in the morning and it was like I needed 30 minutes to wake up because my eyes were struggling to open. Doom scrolling. The moment you wake up, okay, like, it's so bad. That's not good for you. And like, that's not okay. That's not right. And you know what? Like, God, like, it just progressively started to get worse. And I started to explain to people like, oh, like, got social media back, and like, they were looking at me like I was a fucking liar to say that I didn't have social media. I'm not a fucking liar for saying that, you know what I mean? And I think like a lot of people like, and yeah, okay, oh, so fucking what? I care about what other people think. Yeah, I fucking do, bitch, because you know what? I'm sorry, I sound so angry today. I'm really, really sorry. But like, this is such an angry topic for me, like, because of the last couple years and everything I went through. And I'm sorry, I'm trying really hard to calm down. I don't know how else I can finish this story without being pissed off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that a lot of people, if they want to get off of social media, like, they need to like really understand that like there are people that are pro social media and you're going to get backlash for it, especially me in my situation. Like, around the time that I did it, it felt like as if I was somehow changing history by like deleting social media, because like it was such a big deal and I was getting so much like hate for it. It was really bad. And downloading it again, it's just like, oh my god, like, I hate it so much. But it is like taking over our world because we need it for promoting. Like, me, for example, was kind of like, I've been trying to use social media. Written by Dal, that's my other Instagram, my other secrets Instagram. I have literally been blocking anyone I know that I know in real life who have followed me using this account. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably still gonna do it. If I could block people I know in real life from watching my YouTube, I would. I am literally such a blocking advocate. I seriously just, this is why I don't have social media. And a lot of people are like, oh, why do you block me? And I'm like, because you were rude to me. You are not nice to me. And I'm tired of people that they're rude to me in real life and then they follow me online because they want to watch me. Okay, I don't appreciate the fucking fake watchers. You're just trying to see what I'm up to. And this is the thing with the world. This is the thing with why I hate social media. Because I'm going to block you. If you are rude to me in real life, you're not my friend. And the only people that follow me on social media are my friends. So there you go. No more fake fucking moles. No more fake fucking people. Get out of my fucking page. You know what I mean? So, anywho. These are so many rants that are literally just popping up even more as I'm making this video. 40 fucking minutes of fucking footage. Do you see this right now? Do you see this right now? Yeah, honey. This is what we're fucking doing. Because it's getting better. And I know that life for me will get better. And I know it will by deleting social media, especially now that the fucking Epstein files are out. And it's getting worse. So much confirmation of everything. I don't know what. I liked one fucking reel on Instagram. I liked one reel. Which, by the way, I am doom scrolling so bad that I don't know the fucking difference between when I'm on Instagram, when I'm on TikTok, or when I'm on the fucking YouTube shorts. That is not okay. And if you're like that too, that is your sign to delete social media. This is your sign. Okay? That's not okay. That is not okay. And we can't even differentiate the difference between what app we're on as we're doom scrolling is not normal. Okay? So, I'm stirring. Oh my god, that looks so bad for a second. No. I really want to talk about this more, but here is the resolution to my rants. Thank you guys so much for watching this, by the way. I really appreciate anyone who's watching this, and you know, I hope that you guys can understand what I'm going through, what I mean when I say this. Obviously, yes, I was mad at those people. Part of me still is, you know what I mean? And fuck being the bigger person, because obviously those people really did cause a lot of trauma, a lot of drama and drama in my life, okay? Put that in a fucking song, bitch, okay? Make a diss track about me. That's the thing. I just fully believe that, like, you know, hopefully, like, this being considered cool now will start to become better. And unfortunately, I could really go on about this, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, if I make another video talking about social media, I am probably going to have the same energy, because social media and Gen Z pisses me the fuck off, okay? I swear to you, oh my god. Did you guys see that? I swear. I have TMJ, by the way. Holy shit, that actually really fucking scared me. My jaw just, I hope that went through. I hope that went through. It literally just went like that for me. That is the universe telling me that I need to shut up now. Anyways, so, yeah, like I said, I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Please give it a like, and of course, subscribe if you like my energy. Please like and subscribe, and if you guys agree or even disagree, if you are pro social media, please comment down below and tell me how you feel. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.
I was just looking for the sports channel, Gary.